that have changed the narrative of the economy and boosted, the economy, shedding, a positive light to Nigeria, Africa at large. And I feel, because of how overwhelming the weight of the whole issue is, they had to reluctantly. Is it reluctantly now, or they had to just, step down? Because, so take, for instance, Okonjo-Iweala. Okonjo-Iweala was at a point Minister of Finance, and, she had to, you know what, I can't do this again, because some of the politics she introduced was not really accepted in Nigeria at the time. And see what she has done with, at a global level. Yeah. Like, see the politics she has made, see how she has contributed immensely. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really crazy. And, a lot of people have also said that women are also being frustrated out of office. Yeah. So, take, for instance, this election, what happened in Kogi State. About, I don't know if you heard about the governor of Kogi excavating some roads.
Yes, of course. If a woman did that, it will all be emotion. Now, woman, now somebody don't vex her for house.
Yeah, and almost 72 hours before elections, and you're wondering, is it not going to prevent people from accessing their polling units and all of that? And the reason was to prevent terrorists or hoodlums or known gunmen from taking over. And you're wondering, was this really thought through? And one of the roads that was excavated was, belonging to one woman that is also running for a seat.
Yeah, for a seat.
I can't remember her name now. And you're wondering, women really want to go into politics, but if you keep frustrating them with moves like this, would they be encouraged?
The ex-DG of NAFDAC,
yes,
Professor Dora
Quayle. My goodness,
fantastic
because of her, I was like, I'm going to go into politics because and she wasn't even in politics per se. It was because of how distinguished she was.
Women who have just served
as director of NAFDAC, that she was now into politics because they wanted to also pick her brains on different political levels, and she encouraged and inspired so many women.
Yeah, she did.
And fought through the male dominance in the industry, quote and unquote. And was it not when she entered the politics now that all of that happened, and Okay, so any woman wants to contest for any political, appointment or position, you have to go under a party. And if your party is not popular, if your party is not, doesn't have the people, doesn't have the quote and unquote structure, which now has to be redefined, because we can see that happen in this year's election.
The definition of structure has
been
changed.
redefined, honestly. So you see, if they do not have that, popularity, quote and unquote, it might be difficult, which is so true. We can see a lot of women who are under a certain party that has, the popularity of people and the awareness of so many people. The women they push, sometimes, they get to the top. They get to the position because of the party they belong to. Yeah. So I think that also has to be, a deciding factor.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that one. Of course, if you want to contest for any seat, any position, there are rules and regulations to do that. You're not just going to stand up and say, "Oh, I'm a woman, so therefore you have to vote for me." You have to go through the process. Join a party. Whatever you need to do to get it to get the tickets or to get your support. You have to do that. Yeah. It's not just it's not bed of roses.
It's not bed of roses. You have to do the work.
You have to do the work. You have to put in the work. So now the question is, do we even create a safe space for these women to do the work? Because sometimes someone might want to contest for certain positions. They'll say, "Oh, you're a woman. It's not yet your time." Or we have so many men. You just came in, Kenny. Don't worry. Just wait. Maybe you deputize. You don't have. Why do you have to be the governor? Why do you have to be this? Why do you have to be that? The world. We don't think this is the time for women to do all of that. So in as much as we're asking them to participate, we need to also ask ourselves important and honest questions like, do we make the space safe enough for this?
Even with the whole the political parties and all of that, it's a bureaucracy, if you ask me, because it is those who are not even elected that make the decisions. We have so many. Godfatherism is a thing in Nigeria.
Yep.
And if you do not, succumb to that, if you do not lay low and pipe down and, subject yourself to that godfatherism, which is like a tunnel system, you might not you might not, there is a very, very slim chance of you even being recognized or even your name being, pushed forward. And you're wondering, if I have the ability to serve, why do I have to wait in line? So it's like, oh, it is your turn now. So it's like a lot of people have to, wait in line. It's like maybe it's a civil system procedure or how do they put it now? When you're working for the federal government or a state government, the system of, okay, it is now your turn.
Yes, it is now your turn. Turn by turn. This thing,
it should never, as long as you have the qualifications, you are ready, you have what it takes. I do not think that should be, the subject of conversation. But it is what it is. Political parties are. It's a bureaucracy, if you ask me.
Okay, let us know on WhatsApp 0909-916-4403. What do you think? Do you think Nigeria is ready for, a female governor or a female president? WhatsApp again is 0909-916-4403. In the past, actually, we've had someone, a woman, a female governor in the past. I think that was a couple of years ago. I think that was in Anambra State, and I think that happened after the person she was deputizing for got impeached.
Yeah, but that was up to 24 hours.
Like it was more than.
Oh, really?
But like Bible said, it's corner.
Yeah. But because she's supposed to run the full term.
A full term. So we're saying, woman on the ballot. You go in there. This is a woman on the ballot. This is she wins the primary. She's the candidate, and you go there and vote for her and say, okay, I'm going to vote for this person as my president or as my governor.
So you see, I was reading that as of September 2022, last quarter of last year, there are 28 countries where 30 women serve as heads of state or government. And at the current rate, gender equality in the highest positions of power will not be reached for another 130 years. And you're here wondering, when exactly are we going to have, gender parity in political life?
Yep.
It is so far off. Like, the conversation is like, okay, maybe my great-great-grandchildren will probably witness this, but as of this era now, it is not looking hopeful at all.
It looks like a wish. It looks like a situation of if wishes were horses.
I would also like to say this, because a lot of people use that as an anchor to discourage women from, getting into politics, which is the women that have been there, what have they done? So they make reference to people like, Kemi Adeosun, who was, once the... what position did she hold again?
It's not...
Kemi Adeosun was...
It's not finance now. I can't remember.
So she was... why am I so forgetting? Yes, Minister of Finance. Yes, a former Minister of Finance, budget and all of that. Yeah. She couldn't return because she falsified some documents, NYSC documents. We also hear of people, using Alison Madueke, former Minister of... Stella Odua, Alison Madueke, former Minister of Petroleum, with all those corruption charges and all of that, fraudulent, behaviors, and she has been arrested, rearrested, a lot of, buildings confiscated, forfeited for the government, and then Stella Odua. So they mentioned these women that have been, but guess what?
The ones that have been there, what have they done?
What have they done, right? But talk about the men as well. We have overwhelming numbers of men who have misused their opportunity. And of course, we are not saying women are holier than thou. Women are, they will not make mistakes. Obviously, they are the bad eggs, but you cannot use that to judge the majority of the women who are willing to serve and ready to serve. It is not a fair comparison when they do that, and they always use that as a yardstick that women are not ready, because the ones that have been there before have shattered the standards they hold for women, which is really unfair.
Why are you even holding standard for these women that you don't hold for the men? I can't remember who I was listening to now. I think it's Chimamanda Adichie a couple of days ago. She was talking about politics, and she said something, I think it was her that said it, that we expect women to be perfect. Like, why do we have that expectation?
And they don't hold the same standard for the men.
So that is the problem. You want women to come to politics, or you want women to do more in a certain area of their life, but you expect them to come hands clean. No, for you to contest, you have to be this, you have to be that. Why do you expect perfection of another human being that is just like you? Do you understand?
Just like you.
So it's like, come, when we have more women in that space, then we can now start searching for the ones that are not doing. We don't even have enough for us to be having all this perfection conversation.
Right.
So let's have them come in the way we have men come in. Then if you now see the one that one is not doing well, then you can say, okay, you know what, we don't want you anymore. But for you to now say before you come, you have to be perfect first.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous and unrealistic.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And with this whole gender parity when it comes to politics and inclusion of women, it is a sustainable goal. It is part of the sustainable goals that we have not achieved. Just before, earlier in the show, we made mention of this actually being a reality in 130 years.
Yes.
And then we heard Annie call in. I think you had to explain what he was talking about, because
he was talking about how he was saying that he thinks that we should focus on that it's not the right time for us to talk about women coming into politics or more women. That we should focus on maybe restructuring the system first. Right. Then we can talk about women's involvement should be more. I'm like, why does it have to be? Why one or the other? We can do both.
That is a conversation, because a lot of people have also said, you know what, let's restructure the whole system. But I also believe that it can go simultaneously, it can go hand in hand. Because we can see with this election that is happening, things are really, changing in the eyes of so many Nigerians, and we're like, okay, could this happen? This could
on
this
a regular day.
This was not the conversation 4 years ago. And we're seeing things change. And I think with the whole energy, with the whole anticipation building up, it should not just be dashed.
It shouldn't be dashed.
It shouldn't be dashed, because a lot of people are disappointed with what is happening right now, the coalition, disenfranchisement and all of that. So hopefully the story gets better.
I hope so too, and I don't think we'll ever get a perfect time to do anything, especially when it comes to involvement in politics.
Now.
Just do it.
I'm Vivi Sasa signing out.